Good evening and welcome. You're watching the news track. I'm Rahul. The government in Karnataka is struggling to pay its bills, fulfill its guarantees, yet MLAs in the state assembly want massage chairs, they want recliners, they want a club, and they even want a pay hike. What explains the completely warped priorities of Karnataka's MLAs? Is the Congress government in Karnataka failing to provide a model of governance which can rival and match and probably even beat the BJP? Because that was the real idea. In Karnataka, Telangana, show a different form of government. Prove your model of governance. Completely the converse seems to be happening week after week after week. And that's my top focus on the news track.
Sir, you are going to meet High Command.
Recliners, massage chairs, a club. And a demand for salary hike. Paisa for luxury upgrades. But cash crunch for citizens. Netas splurge, Karnataka suffers. That is a big focus on the news track.
Let me take you through the headlines I'm tracking tonight. Maharashtra Minister Dhananjay Munde resigns after his aide is accused of murdering the Sarpanch of Beed. Munde cites health grounds for his resignation. Brutal details of torture emerge in the charge sheet. Congress's Imran Masood praises Aurangzeb, asks how can a king who ruled for 48 years be cruel? Police complaint filed against SP's Abu Azmi for his praise of Aurangzeb. Azmi apologizes after outrage. Yogi Adityanath's big Sambhal declaration says we should get what is ours as the Mandir Mosque row rages on. Netas versus Abhinetas in Karnataka. Actor Rashmika Mandana rejects Congress's claim of being invited for the State Film Festival. Kangana Ranaut hits out after DK Shivkumar's warning, says actors are no one's property. Days after the White House blew up, Donald Trump pauses aid to Ukraine after warning that he won't put up with Zelensky. Ukrainian president says he's trying his best to mend ties with the US. Recliners, massage chairs, demand for a club and a salary hike are some of the luxury upgrades MLAs in the Karnataka Assembly are seeking. Chief Minister Siddaramaiah has said he is considering the demand for a hike in MLA salary, but the question is where will the money come from? The Karnataka Sarkar is already struggling to fulfill its poll guarantees. Is the cash crunch in the state only for its citizens and not for its netas?
After plush recliners, massage chairs and high-end office renovations were cleared from Karnataka MLAs, the legislators are now demanding a salary hike, citing rising living cost and financial strain.
Some MLAs, they are requesting to hike salaries. They have to travel in their consciences, no? They have to travel in their consciences. Expenditure will be more.
Hitting out at the Siddaramaiah government, the opposition denied demanding salary hikes or recliners.
What's happening in the state government and in the Vidhan Sabha is a very wrong thing. None of the MLAs, we are not asking for a raise in our salary, nor couches, nor sofa. We are just asking them, first you pay the salaries of the PAs of MLAs that you have not been paying properly.
They have provided to 6 to 7 recliner. We are 224. You can't provide for 224. See, this is not necessary in the launch to provide recliner for MLAs for an attendance reason. That is not See, we are not come here for relax. We are come here for a debate and participate. So it is not right.
Karnataka Deputy Chief Minister D.K. Shivakumar distanced himself from the controversy.
Salaries of MLAs, sir, there's a plan to hike the salaries.
I don't know. I don't know about it.
Chief Minister Siddaramaiah has agreed to the revision of salaries and assured he would review the matter. The MLAs in Karnataka take home around 1.86 lakh per month as of now. The Siddaramaiah government has also approved a proposal of 20 crore rupees for construction of constitutional club for the MLAs. The splurge for MLAs comes even as Karnataka government battles fund crunch and is resorting to multiple price hikes in the state. The Bruhat Bengaluru Mahanagara Palike has issued notices to 258 government buildings, including Vidhan Saudha, on pending property tax payments. Some departments have reportedly defaulted on property tax payments for the last 17 years, with dues running into crores. With Sagai Raj, Bureau Report, India Today.
The financial situation in Karnataka is quite dire. At this time, outstanding liabilities stand at 22.7% of the state's GDP. And you've got total liabilities of 5,97,618 crores. So this is amongst the highest anywhere in the country, and massive public debt, lots of liabilities, and the government already struggling to meet its own poll guarantees. What then explains this big increment for MLAs? To talk about this, I'm joined first in this broadcast by Santosh Lad. He's the Karnataka Labour Minister, one of the top leaders of the Congress in the state. With us also is Harish Bijur, one of Bangalore's best-known brand strategists. I have Sandeep Anuradhan, he's a citizen activist, and later, for a Congress perspective, I'll have Lavanya Balal, and Mohan Vishwa will give a Karnataka BJP perspective. But let's spend some time with Santosh Lad. I'll get into the debate in just a moment, Mr. Lad. But can you explain why you think that it is justified at this time for the Karnataka government to even consider a salary hike for MLAs? What's the logic? What's the thinking? Why do you think Karnataka's MLAs need to be paid more money?
See, if MLAs have put the demand, so definitely the government, the CM will definitely look into the matter. But even assuming that even if there is a demand of increase of MLAs, whatever the perks they are asking, it is not going to cost much, according to me. All 224 MLAs and as well as the legislative council members, and all that should not be a huge chunk of money. But if it has been not reviewed for a quite long time, if the increase has been not there, so they must be asking for it, and absolutely it is left to the government to get into the matter and see how it has to be increased.
What kind of pay hike do you think is justified? I've read different kinds of percentages, some suggesting that at least a 25% pay hike, going up potentially even to 50%. What kind of increment do you think is justified for MLAs at this time?
Rahul, honestly speaking, I have not applied I have not really applied my mind onto it. So there will be definitely a committee, there will be a lot of experts will be there, and there will be definitely a decision taken wisely on that.
No, but the problem is that there seems to be a trend and a pattern here. First, you went and got some recliners, then you went and got some massage chairs. Just in terms of optics, given the state of Karnataka's public finances at this moment, and those graphic points are up on the screen right now, Karnataka is struggling. You're struggling to meet your promises, your guarantees. You're trying to find new ways of mobilizing revenue. At that time, these massage chairs, recliners, they just seem to be sending a terrible message.
Well, it's a very good debatable point, how you use this, For example, now how you are getting this debate onto this television is more important. Now, for example, for a massage chair, what you're talking about is definitely according to me, it may not go in a good light. Definitely it could not go in a good light, but still the way it has been debated is a one question mark according to me. Number two, you're asking about the Karnataka financial fiscal deficit of government of Karnataka. We are well within 3%. Okay, we are well within 3%. Our borrowings are well within 25%. Yes, we have got a little higher physical deficit, and last budget we had a minus revenue is because we had a huge program where 70% of Karnataka population through DBT we are paying around about 60,000 crores. So this is a nutshell I want to give, and according to the Niti Aayog report, I repeat, according to the Niti Aayog report, Karnataka stands in number 3 in ranking. There are 5 parameters which the Niti Aayog reports to see to that how the money has been used for the programs, and various other 4 parameters which are there. Based on to that, Karnataka stands number 3. The reason is, when it comes to income tax, we are number 2. When it comes to GST, we are number 2. When it comes to FDI, we are number 2. So overall, if you see, there are other states who have crossed 3%. That is, UP consistently has crossed 3%, Bihar has crossed 3%, MP has crossed 3%. Instead of not giving all these subsidies, what we are giving up to 60,000 crores. So it depends on how you want to take other state and ask Karnataka about, makes sense according to me.
No, but you sidestepped the question. Everything is relative to the past in Karnataka. You know, how a UP or Bihar is doing. You know, you're not surely going to compare Karnataka with Uttar Pradesh and Bihar. Karnataka is one of India's most prosperous states. In the last few months, you've increased public transport bus fares, you've increased fuel costs for petrol, you've increased milk prices in Nandini, you've increased excise duty on alcohol, you've increased stamp duty and registration fees, because you're trying to find ways of mopping up money. So there is a very strong public message here. And this is what you're forcing your citizens, your voters to do. And your MLAs want an increment, they want massage chairs, and they want recliners.
Now you kept on talking about massage chair. I come where you're coming from. So forget for a time being massage chairs. Okay, for time being.
Okay.
So now the how you want to talk about massage chairs is I leave up to you. When it comes to public transport, today 50% of women who are in Karnataka, they go free. So technically 50% or more than 60% of women who are, especially 100% women who are traveling in Karnataka bus transport, they are virtually free. So you cannot say we are increasing the rest. Definitely, because last 6-7 years there was no increase. Gradually there is an increase. When we compare to other state, our state, the number of buses which we are playing, when you compare to Maharashtra, when you compare to Kerala or any other states, Karnataka is the only state where we have got more than 25,000 buses playing around. We haul around about more than 1 crore people per day. At a larger state being Karnataka, being smaller than Maharashtra, we take care of people who are playing in our state buses. So out of which 50% go free. See, it depends on how you want to compare and make a decision out of it. So now you just want to choose and say we're increasing. Yes, we're increasing only for the 50%, not for the other 50% is free. It's a valid one which I'm talking about.
No, sir, because that's not it. You've increased water tariffs in Karnataka. You've increased medical fees at government hospitals. You've increased property registration stamp duty by 0.5%. The point I'm making is you're making citizens pay more. Whereas MLAs are asking for a club, they say, oh, we get very tired, which is why we want to sit back, we do a lot of work, we stay up till 1 a.m., which is why we think we deserve a salary hike. I'm talking about what you're putting citizens through versus what you're expecting for yourself. Don't you think there's anything amiss here?
No, that's why I said no. When you compare with other states, then only we'll come to know how Karnataka.
No, but why are you comparing Karnataka with Uttar Pradesh and Bihar?
No.
Sir, Karnataka should not be compared with Uttar Pradesh and Bihar.
No, you are taking. No, listen, Kunal. No, I'll tell you. We are not going to compare, but the way you are telling particularly about Karnataka, this every state, every central government, state government does increases. Every state does increase, Rahul. Why only Karnataka does it? Why Maharashtra has not done? Why every state does it. We have to accept it. We have to be honest in saying that yes, we have increased. But what is the percentage we have increased? Are we discussing on it? Are we discussing what is the percentage we have increased? You said we have increased the, in the government hospitals. How much we have increased? So you have to compare. Yes, government has to run. How will the government run ultimately? How will the government run ultimately, Rahul? There has to be an increase. Yes.
So it's a question of what you prioritize. It's a question of what you prioritize. Some 20 crore rupee grant is being given for an MLA constitution club. You've got at this time electricity supply companies, ESCOMs in crisis because of unpaid electricity bills. There's a 7,000 crore rupee debt in your transport department. Now 20 crores may be a small amount relative to 7,000 crores, but the fact is it's a question of prioritization. You're building a club where you've got unpaid bills?
Rahul, if that is the case, then no, Rahul. Now, unpaid bills, you cannot talk here because there is a definitely, the government is there. Every government, every department has got unpaid bill. Now, you are asking me a question on a department wise, then you have to speak in detail, right? Then that is the case, then it's a fair chance for me to speak also. Every department owes to other department. Transport department is definitely, they will be owing from the other state, they will pay. Now, for example, the electricity bill will be not paid for the Gram Panchayat. The government has to take care of it. What is this question? What are you asking? There is no relation to it, right? You are talking about a physical deficit of a state government where we are very much better than other states comparatively, even though we are paying 60,000 crores as a subsidy. You should rank us. Even though we are paying 60,000 crores subsidy on a DBT, where you should rank, at least give some sort of a merit to our state. Remaining things we can discuss. If there's a due from one department to other department, how can you take on a debate and talk to me like that?
Sir, beneficiaries of the Graha Lakshmi scheme have not, sir, beneficiaries of the Graha Lakshmi scheme are telling our reporters in Karnataka that they haven't received the promised money for the last 3 months. Funds for the Annabhagya, which provides cash in lieu of 5 kgs of rice, have not been released for the last 4 months. Now, if this is money that you can't give, in the middle of it, you're building clubs, and what I'm aghast by is the fact that you're not thinking that there's anything wrong with your allocation.
No, I'm definitely buying your point. Okay, Rahul, I'll be very honest. I'm buying your point because having such dues, getting this massage chairs really does not go well according to the whatever you're talking. I buy that point.
Abhi to kuch aur bol rahe the.
Leaving apart the massage chairs, yes, with 3 months. Listen, 1 minute. Okay. According to 3 months, what we have not paid the Graha Lakshmi, it will be paid. It will be paid. Like for example, if I can tell, you are on record. So today, central government does not pay money for our NRG work. It'll come, but it will be delayed. 3 months, 4 months delays there. So every state government or a central government, whenever it has got a program which is going on, there will be certain delays. Yes, collection would be a form of money. Money will be not coming some part of time. It is not that we have kept for pending for a quite long time. For only 3 months which we have not paid, you are asking, but we have been paying last 16 months. So we should tap on our government. That's why I said no. If you see according to Niti Aayog report, we stand number 3. We stand number 3 consistently on the report itself. So it shows the Karnataka is doing well. Yes, yeah, please.
No, complete your argument because then I'll throw it open to our panelists. Because from what I've understood, you don't essentially think that there's anything wrong in the manner in which these funds have been allocated under these heads.
No, I do completely. I'm also not in line that you're talking about massage chairs. I don't know massage chairs, Honorable Speaker, in his wisdom, in his thinking, in what reference this has been there, because from morning I've been hearing that. I'm not totally aware of it, number one. Number two, if there's an increase, of a legislator fees that they want as a salary, there is to be an increase. They have got every right, everybody has got right. Some people say it is not useful, some people say it is correct, but it's left to the discretion of the government and the CM will take a call on it.
Okay, Santosh Lad, Labour Minister in Karnataka, for joining us. Thank you. I think you've explained the government's position. I don't want to get into a debate with you, but I want to hear from our other panelists. So you've heard from a senior minister in the Siddaramaiah government. I want to go across to Harish Bijur first. Because what he said is, and I don't think there's any Karnataka MLA, frankly, Mr. Bijur, who survives of that MLA salary. But this just appears to me to be completely tone deaf. That you've got clubs being built, recliners being bought, massage chairs, they're asking for increments when in some of their most flagship schemes, they haven't been able to pay because they don't have the money for it.
Well, Rahul, you put it succinctly, and I'm going to take off on that point and say that, hey, listen, when it comes to massage chairs and recliners and the numbers that they're talking about at this point of time, it's small. But let's look at it from the optics it creates. The Congress party in Karnataka has actually taken a whip and given it to the opposition in Karnataka to beat them with. Because, it looks petty to pick, but politics can get pretty petty. If you really look at it, something like the glass house, inverted commas, Arvind Kejriwal was taken to an election. And to an extent, it actually made a big impact. So a massage chair or a recliner is not good optics for the Congress party at all. The Congress party came into power 2 years ago, and I think it came in with a big mandate. I don't think that mandate must be frittered on items which give you bad optics. I have just one point to make, Rahul, and that is when you represent the people, your public lifestyle must not be higher than that of your lowest common denominator voter. Lowest common denominator. It should not even be like the middle common denominator voter, lowest, because people are looking at you.
Oh, absolutely.
And this makes for bad optics and bad press. And people will tend to ask, hey, listen, I'm paying so much out as taxes, and as all kinds of prices keep going up, is this where the money is going?
Lavanya
So
Balal, your government doesn't have money to pay for key schemes, and yet your MLAs are asking for pay hikes, massage chairs, recliners, clubs. In the Graha Lakshmi scheme, you haven't been able to pay. You haven't been able to pay in the Annabhagya scheme for 5 kilos of rice for the last 5 months. It just seems as if your government is at this moment being completely tone deaf. You're on mute, Lavanya.
Good evening, Rahul. When we talk about MLAs, we are talking about 224 MLAs. That includes the Congress, the BJP, and the JDS MLAs. Harish Biju did make a very valid point about the lifestyle of the leaders. But here is what I would like to tell you. I just had a chat with the speaker, and I was asking him about the expense of these chairs and the massage chairs that we were talking about. So the recliners that is being brought, about 10 or 15, for a total year, the cost is 2 lakhs. And the massage chairs are complimentary, and that is not being charged. It is just 2 lakhs expense per year for these recliners. Is it bad optics? Totally. I would agree, yes, it is bad optics. But here is another question. When we talk about expenses being spent, I'm not going to talk about the salaries of the MLAs because the request has come from different party MLAs and it is going to be discussed and there's a procedure for that. Now, when we're talking about the expense of Karnataka government, as a Kannadiga, this is what really hurts me. We do not discuss about other states. I do not see much discussion about how much thousands of crores is being spent on Lok Sabha buildings and on, the residence of the Prime Minister, residence of the President. None of that is being discussed. What is being discussed is the 2 lakhs being spent on all MLAs, 224 MLAs.
You're saying it's just 2 lakh rupees, but I also want to tell you, Lavanya, that local media has quoted your leaders as saying that the rent on those recliners is 1,500 rupees per day. For each of those recliners is 1,500 rupees per day. That's the rent which has been reported on the basis of comments made by MLAs in your government.
I would have suggested that people reach the source directly. UT Kadir, the speaker, the honorable speaker, I'm sure would have been available to find out the costing, and his office would have told you the exact amount that they're spending. This is the amount he told me.
No, but you're allocating 20 crore rupees for a club for MLAs?
No, I'm not talking about the club. I'm just talking about the chairs now.
No, talk about the club as well. Talk to us about the club.
We're talking about the club. Let us talk about the club. What are the perks that we are getting in Lok Sabha? The MPs are getting meals at 10 rupees subsidized. Why isn't anybody talking about it? Do the MPs need a meal at 10 rupees? The luxurious, scrumptious meal that they have? Or
last when I went to Parliament, that subsidy is no longer that much. It's no longer 10 rupees. It used to be 10 rupees. Lavanya, it used to be 10 rupees many years ago. That subsidy has been readjusted. It's no longer, you don't get a meal in Parliament for 10 rupees any longer.
Yes, absolutely. I agree with you. Yes, it has been adjusted. Now, what about thousands and thousands of crores being spent in Delhi on the structures, the government structures, the residence of the Prime Minister, the residence of the President? Why is nobody discussing about it? Why is it that everybody from the national media has a different scale to measure things in Karnataka? It feels like, we are almost disliked for anything that we do in Karnataka. I'm so sorry, but this does not come across as of valid request. When the speaker says there are MLAs who refuse to come back after the lunch saying they have health issues or whatever, I want to know, why aren't we discussing about that? Who are these MLAs who are not coming back to the session after the lunch break? How many of them from the Congress, how many of them from the BJP or JDS do not attend the afternoon sessions? I think that is what we should be discussing
about. Of course. Okay, one second. Mohan Vishwa, the best argument that Lavanya Balal has, that the Prime Minister is building a new home, there's a new government complex being built, and that's causing thousands of crores as well. So why just look at the few lakhs that we're spending on these recliners and massage chairs? That there's a lot of bias here in favor of the BJP and against the Congress in Karnataka.
No. Let me correct it, Rahul. It is not against the BJP or for the BJP. I said against Karnataka. Let me be very clear. Karnataka. Not against a party.
Okay. Let Mohan Vishwa speak for himself.
See, good evening, Rahul. It's not about the money here. See, the Siddaramaiah who calls himself as a socialistic leader, what kind of message he's giving? Come on. The entire government is sleeping from past 2 years. Let me give some statistics. I just heard what Mr. Santosh Lad said. He said he asked you to speak about, he asked you to praise Karnataka for giving free bus services and also for giving free electricity. See, it becomes free only when you make a payment to electricity companies. It becomes free only when you make payment to transport corporations. Come on, you're not paid electricity bills, you're not paid, the transport corporations, and how can you claim it as a free? It's like similar to the UPA 2, which the oil bonds pattern followed. Same thing is being followed here. There also, they issued an oil bond which got matured in our term, where we paid for it, and they claimed the marketing status. Same thing here. They're not even paying the transport corporations. They're not even paying the the electricity companies, and they claim that they're giving free electricity, free. Come on, what kind of lie is selling here on a national TV being a minister? This is one thing. Let me finish, madam. Let me finish. I'm here. Okay? And also, as you rightly said, I'll give you one more number. How bad the economic condition of Karnataka has become from past 2 years. Like as you rightly said, they've hiked the milk prices, they've increased the stamp duty valuation, they've increased the liquor prices, they've increased petrol price, diesel price, come on. And also the minister said, what is the percentage of increase? Come on, metro price has been doubled almost. Okay? And also BMTC, in a lot of places, they have doubled prices increase. And also the excise duty on liquor has been doubled in so many cases. More than 100% of its increase. Even after increasing, Rahul, the debt in the first year has been increased by 5,000 crores. The debt in the second year has been increased by 1,05,000 crores. Even after increasing the price, even after getting the GST collections, the Karnataka's debt in last 2 years has been increased by 1,90,000 crores. And they are going to make another 1,05,000 crores debt in the coming budget in just 3 years, even after increasing all the prices, without paying anybody, without paying any subsidy, like as you said. They have not even paid Grow Lakshmi amount from past 3 to 4 months. They have not paid electricity companies. Even after that, the debt of the Karnataka has been increased by 3 lakh crores. Then where the money is going? Come on. Their own MLAs. No, let me finish. I'm not finished that. Their own MLAs, their own netas, their own cabinet ministers. I can name them here. There is an MLA called Raju Kage. There is an MLA called Gaviyappa. There is a minister called B.R. Patil. He himself has written a letter to Siddaramaiah that he is not getting the funds for his own constituency. Then where the money is going? There are price hikes. There are loan increase of almost 3 lakh crores. Where the money is going?
Okay, let me go across to Sandeep Anirudhan. You know, Lavanya Balal and even Santosh Lal earlier was making the point that they think that the Karnataka government of Siddaramaiah is being unfairly targeted, that there is some kind of a vindictive campaign on against them. Do you think that they're just being tone deaf? It's not how much that club or the salary hike actually costs. It's the fact that you've got critical schemes for which you have no allocations. You've got electricity departments, transport departments which haven't been paid their dues, and yet the MLAs and the government thinks it's okay to be spending on their own welfare.
Rahul, it is true that the state is going through a financial crisis. Today's Deccan Herald reported that the debt burden of the state is going to exceed 7 lakh crores. I don't know who's going to repay this amount. And on top of it, we have a Bangalore development minister who wants to take loans of 1.68 lakh crores to build some projects which we don't want. Citizens don't want it. He wants to impose it on the city. So I think the crisis here is one of credibility. And the crisis here is one of consultation. The state government seems to be in a complete disconnect with the public. Public are certainly not comfortable. Public are going through price rises and various things. Public are like the recent metro price hike. I mean, they'll keep finger pointing till heaven comes, but the state government and the central government are partners in the metro. And there is a BMLTA, which is supposed to be the transport regulator, which remains on paper for the last 2 years. They still haven't constituted it. Whose fault is it? It is the government's fault. So they can't keep finger pointing. Price has gone up. And to the extent where 1 lakh rides have reduced in the metro. We don't have sufficient buses. and no budget is increasing the buses. We need about 20,000 buses for a city like Bengaluru. No government is interested in it. They want to build tunnels, which will only help cars. They want to build flyovers, which will only help
but there is
cars.
a larger problem here, Lavanya. You know, Karnataka was a prime example where the Congress had an opportunity to show that they could build their own new Congress model of governance to counter what the Modi government was doing, what the BJP was doing at the moment. But look at how the Karnataka government is in the news for all the wrong reasons. You know, there is nothing that is happening which allows for you, whether it's your CM and your deputy CM being at loggerheads, schemes being announced without money for them, these unpaid dues. You always, there is no model you're being able to create. That's the point that Harish Bijur made. It's an opportunity you seem to be frittering away.
Well, Rahul, there were some points made, your point as well as some of the points made by the BJP spokesperson. He talks about how much the Transport Corporation owes, the debt. He does not mention that the BJP government left the Transportation Corporation with a 4,000 crore debt. Okay, they owed 4,000 crores when they exited the office. Now, when we are talking about the salary hike and the perks that the MLAs are asking, the BJP spokesperson fails to tell us if there are no BJP leaders asking for a salary hike, if there are no BJP leaders using all of these perks. Secondly, when we are talking about the metro rides, the other Aniruddhan was talking about, the metro rides, the metro is a joint venture collaboration between the central government and the state government, and to blame the state government for that looks very weird. When you're talking about the frittered opportunities, see, Rahul, I would say it's a point of view. You always talk about DK Shivkumar and Siddaramaiah. You never talk about the dispute in the BJP, where it is a broken house. Even in the union or the Delhi High Command is not able to patch up these leaders. They're fighting like cats and dogs every day. The BJP is a broken house in Karnataka. Who is discussing? How many debates have happened about it?
But you're in government right now. The Karnataka BJP has always been a mess, which is why you had the opportunity.
Why do you cut me off? Why do you cut me off?
No, because you've spoken at length. That's why. I'll give you 20 more seconds to complete your argument, and then I want to go to Harish Bijur.
I would request you to also focus on the positive news that is coming in from Karnataka, and also look at what is happening with the BJP in Karnataka. Not just the Congress leaders being at loggerheads or...
No, but this is the wrong argument to make, Harish Bijur, because to compare Karnataka with Bihar and with Uttar Pradesh, and with no disrespect to those states, you're really pulling Karnataka down. You should compare Karnataka with, say, a Tamil Nadu, with, say, potentially a Maharashtra, with some of the Southeast Asian countries. That's the weight category Karnataka should be punching in. You can't tell me that you're doing better than Bihar and Uttar Pradesh like Santosh Lad did. And even here, you shouldn't compare with the Karnataka BJP. It's because the BJP in Karnataka was such a mess, which is why you had an opportunity to win and to show that you were different. Now you're saying, unko dekho, wo bhi lad rahe, hum bhi lad rahe. Let Harish Bijur come in on this. Mr. Bijur.
See, Rahul, I think you made a point that Karnataka is a great state. I mean, Karnataka is a jewel in the crown. That is India. And I do believe we need to compare with the right set of peers. But there is a bigger point. And the bigger point seems to be that governance is possibly gobbling up a lot of money today. And I think we should take a leaf, and I'm going to be unpopular on this, but I'm going to say we need to take a leaf out of the United States of America and what's happening with the DOGE. I think India needs a DOGE at the center and in each of our states, because, governments need to be run more efficiently. And the bigger point is, when you serve the poor, you must look like the poor. So that's very, very important, because you cannot alienate yourself.
No, but what you're saying from a branding perspective, from a positioning perspective, is so basic and obvious. And forget what they do in their private lives. At least in public, the netas are usually very careful of this. I'm seeing a situation now where even in public, they're justifying these recliners and these massage chairs, the clubs and the pay hikes.
I think Rahul, the government must stop. The Karnataka government must stop justifying this and pull out these recliners and pull out the massage chairs and not fight it out, because you are giving...
No, but Lavanya said, and even Santosh Lad said, oh, look at the total amount, it's so small. How does it matter? It's no big deal. There are only 200 odd MLAs. Even if we give them a hike, how much money will it require?
Yeah, absolutely, Rahul. I agree with it. But, there are 5 points I'd like to summarize with. One is to say pay MLAs well. It's very important to pay your MLA well, because then, hopefully, other issues don't crop up. Secondly, don't give the opposition a whip to whip you with. The Congress party has just done that. Thirdly, and if you're given the whip, withdraw the whip if you want to. The third is don't get bad optics. It's basic not to get bad optics with after having spent 2 years and there is likely to be a change in leadership, we are told, in Karnataka. This is not the right time for that to happen. And the fourth is image is important. And the fifth is look like the poor to serve the poor. Don't jump out of that.
Okay, Mohan Vishwa, I'm running out of time.
I need 20 seconds.
Yes, very quickly, finally.
See, regarding recliners, massage chair and all, we are totally against it. We have a legislative house inside Vidhan Sabha itself. Each MLA, MLC have been given a separate room altogether, which has a, the bed, even the bathroom, everything. So they can stay there, they can relax over there. It is needed only for the Congress, which is sleeping. And regarding the salary hike, there is a separate committee altogether. The committee will decide. It's not either BJP or Congress or JDS, whatever it may be. See, today's, my friend who is sitting here, Congress spokesperson, she did not speak about the debt trap of the state. She did not speak about the price hike. And she speaks about the socialistic CM. Siddaramaiah, come on. Today, DK Shivakumar is the richest MLA in India. He has declared 1,435 crores of assets. You don't know. You don't have statistics.
So,
come on.
Is it a crime? Is it a crime to be a rich man in India now?
It's not a crime. It's not a crime. You spoke about. Hold on. Let's complete my poem. Okay. The guys who are sitting in state, being a CM or DCM, call themselves a socialistic leader and they want recliners on chairs. Come on, when they have a legislature house itself,
I will send you pictures of your leaders using those recliners, Mohan Vishwa.
And also last point, Rahul, they are ruling in the state. Come on, if at all, if there is a problem in the state, the people will have the ruling party. Yes, in our opposition party, if we have an issue, our high command is there. Okay, we are there to, throw out the issues faced by a citizen. So that is our internal.
Okay.
That is our internal. But the people are today, they are cursing Congress. Come on, farmers are cursing. Women are cursing. Farmers are cursing. Women are cursing.
I'll leave it there. We've heard from all the guests. It's quite clear that the government has a case of misplaced priorities. They really shouldn't be prioritizing these recliners, massage chairs, the clubs and the pay hike at a time when the state is going through a serious financial problem. You've got schemes you haven't been able to pay beneficiaries for. You've got government departments that have got dues piling up. Those are the issues. And at that time to say, well, it's no big deal, the amounts aren't very big, that I'm afraid simply doesn't fly. Well, you've heard from all the guests. You make up your own mind on this. Feeding lion cubs, giraffes and rhinos, posing with big cats and playing with orangutans. The Prime Minister did all this and more as he inaugurated Vantara, India's largest animal rescue, conservation and rehabilitation centre in Gujarat's Jamnagar. Vantara is Ambani Sai and Anand's passion project and is home to more than 2,000 species and over 1.5 lakh rescued, endangered and threatened animals. Take a look at the highlights presented by the Prime Minister's office. That was the Prime Minister at Vantara. Meanwhile, the country's #1 thought leadership platform, the India Today Conclave, is back with the theme, The Age of Acceleration. The India Today Conclave has a stellar lineup this year as Donald Trump upends the world order. One of his former aides and US Secretary of State Mike Pompeo will be one of the key speakers at the conclave this year, which happens in Delhi on the 7th and the 8th of March. Here is a quick sneak peek.
Michael Richard Pompeo, the former Secretary of State in Donald Trump's first term, was the man of the moment, and the world revolved around his moves, his words. He was the staunchest Trump loyalist in the cabinet. Secretary of State Pompeo was the key man to orchestrate 3 summits between Donald Trump and North Korean Supreme Leader Kim Jong-un. But though they failed to contain North Korea's nuclear arsenal buildup, the fact that Kim Jong-un met the president for talks, and that too not once but thrice, with great improvement in geopolitics. He was the man who built US relations with Saudi Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman, especially when the CIA conclusion of Khashoggi's murder pinned the Crown Prince, and the lawmakers mounted pressure to hold him accountable. Pompeo disputed the report and buried the hatchet.
We will continue to have a conversation with the Crown Prince and the Saudis about ensuring that the accountability is full and complete with respect to the unacceptable murder of Jamal Khashoggi.
We also know that we have an important relationship with the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, and we are determined to make that a successful relationship. It's in the national security interest to keep Americans safe, and so we're going to do that.
When President Trump took the U.S. out of the landmark 2015 Iran nuclear deal, Mike Pompeo was the man who played the Trump card to slap Iran with the strongest sanctions.
The sting of sanctions will be painful if the regime does not change its course from the unacceptable and unproductive path it has chosen to one that rejoins the League of Nations. These will indeed end up being the strongest sanctions in history when we are complete.
He was the man Donald Trump relied on to get the job done, and he delivered each time. The powerful former Secretary of State who knows Donald Trump and his style of function the best would be at the India Today Conclave, live, interacting and decoding Trumpism in person.
This is where we wrap up the news track tonight. For the time, I am cheering for the India team and hoping that we go through to the finals. It's looking exciting. It's looking as if we have it in control, but this is Australia we're up against, so we've got our fingers crossed and we are bleeding blue. See you tomorrow. Goodbye.